combinations, their fundamentals are really solid, then that's going to be a completely different story. But like I said as well, this is DEWA United looking to prove their grounds. Maybe they can compete with one of the best in the world.
I mean, they competing with some of the best of the world. We were hoping that Euphoria was going to take that place, obviously, because they were the champions of Season 2, and we were hoping that they would take down more big names. But I think DEWA United have already started up on quite a momentous rise through the Swiss rounds, right? Don't get me wrong, DEWA United games, all of them have been generally pretty difficult, and I think this is going to be the pinnacle of whether or not they have made it thus far, whether they've gotten to the power level that these Tier 1s are holding themselves to.
Now, I'll give you guys a little bit of track record on the journey for DEWA United, right? They took 2-1 against Slate, they took 2-0 against GameLab, they lost 2-0 against EVOS, and they won 2-0 against Rebellion. So technically, they are a pretty solid team, but can they make the biggest upset? One of the biggest challenges right now before progressing to tomorrow's game, it starts right now in the drafts. Here, game 1, ONIC PH going to be on the blue side, and DEWA United on the red side. We see the Fanny being banned, we see the one-way being banned. No clear tells yet, pretty standard openings thus far, but I'm curious to see, is ONIC PH looking to try and ban off Assassins, try and set up for a CC composition? Nope, seems like they're not going for that angle.
This is a tough one here. The fact that they're already banning out the Eve, they want to make sure that the Valentina is somewhat open for potentially, covering for the rest of their team in case they have leaned into a particular composition a little too much. DEWA United Esports, on the other hand, banning out the Wan, focusing on the Joy as well, both of which good bans.
Yeah, in this case, seems like Valentina is going to be up for grabs as well. Novaria, so I was about to say Euphoria. Novaria completely ignored from both sides. So I want to see whether or not ONIC PH decides to prioritize this. So if they decide to go for the Valentina ban right here, Arlott is going to be open.
Yep.
But at the same time, I feel like they can still experiment, let the Arlott through, play something else, go for the Novaria back as a first pick if they want to.
Look, I know you miss them, but they're gone.
I know.
We gotta move on from it.
It's really sad, bro.
We gotta move on from this.
Why? Dude, come on, man.
I mean, that's just the nature of competition, right? You're only looking for the cream of the crop, and finally somebody decides to get rid of the glue. It's gonna come from ONIC PH though, so that means DEWA United Esports, this Farmis suddenly loses a lot of value. They might want to consider getting rid of the Valentina and start thinking about counters for Arlott.
No, that's the thing about ONIC PH's draft, right? Like, Glue and Faramis is in a very particular situation where if you pick either of these two heroes, your entire playstyle needs to play around those compositions, which is completely different from what we've seen thus far in all the games we've seen today as well as yesterday's, right? Like, the compositions would not work in those kind of playstyles. But the moment you take away Glue means that, okay, like you said as well, Faramis just loses all his power spike. The counter is still somewhat relevant, but if you can mirror it with Valentina, it isn't too bad. But it seems like ONIC PH, they have that opening here right now. They can actually go for the Valentina right here and just let DEWA United Esports decide. You want to play the Faramis, it's okay. You don't want to, it's okay. Valentina is always going to be safe.
Yeah, and Valentina is such a safe opening pick with 50% win rate overall, but the amount of times picked, 72 times picked and 23 times banned. DEWA United Esports. Now, even thinking about the Kaja could be a bit of an issue, but is there anything that you really want to lock down that's technically available? We do see the Lancelot come out from DEWA United Esports. That's always going to be a staple pick. What else are they going to pair it with?
I really want to see the Novaria. Even though I don't think DEWA United does play it, I've not seen Keys kind of play that direction. But going for the Novaria kind of limits Valentina's out a little bit here. It just provides vision and slow. That's about it, right? So it doesn't bring too much value into the team fight as a Valentina. But at the same time, they are actually going to go for it. All right, okay.
Yeah.
They definitely going to try and take advantage of this, I guess.
I was literally going to tell you some of the conditions that we were waiting to see for Novaria to come out. In this case, when you see Valentina, how much value do you think is she going to get stealing an ult from Novaria? Now DEWA United Esports, they have two technically dead ults for this Valentina to abuse, so now she loses a little bit of power, but it doesn't mean that DEWA United Esports could give her a different kind of ultimate. We'll see in a little bit.
They could always play the vision game, Like, if you pop the Novarias out on the right side, you know what? You throw one on me, I'm going to throw one back. I see you, you see each other, and then we just see each other from afar.
Here's the thing, right?
Near, far.
Wherever you are, I think that Selena is still a big question mark for me. I don't think it is a must-pick, must-ban, but it does work very, very well with the Novaria, right? You land the stun instantly. You can use the Astral Recall to get some free damage in because your target is sitting still. But ONIC PH will take the initiative, locking in the Beatrix and also having access to Divine Judgment in Kaja.
I'm not a big fan of this.
Really?
Like I like the Kaja, but I don't like it if it's paired with Valentina. Just because in terms of damage output wise, it's not enough. Like if you go for a Divine Judgment wise, if you go for a Divine Judgment pull and set up in towards the Valentina, Valentina doesn't burst quick enough to actually get a one shot unless it's meant to set up for the Beatrix.
That's true, that's true. At least there's an enabler. I see where you're coming from here. So DEWA United Esports, as they recognize this, I don't think there's any other heroes. Wait, let me just quickly run through my head. The Joy's already been banned, the Arlet's already been banned, so technically...
Bring the Diggy.
Diggy? I don't think so. I don't think in this particular case. Oh no, I'm getting flashbacks all over again. It's happening again!
Oh, Shackle with the Kufra.
Okay, I gotta remember.
Are you afraid?
I gotta remember. The ultimate from Kufra can get cancelled. I gotta look at the green dot. Look at the green dot. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for this one. I'm ready for this one.
Fair enough. But looks like DEWA United, they will not be playing the double mage compositions. I guarantee not, right? I don't think they were gonna put the Kufra on XP lane. But now, in terms of that's the thing, right? You know, the reason why I have this mentality, just because of the fact that being a caster here in Malaysia for 4 years now, watching Todak for so many freaking seasons, every single time you see like potential flex picks, my brain goes like, you know what? Even though it's a bad idea, but it's still a possibility. Guess what? Grok jungle was a bad idea. I didn't think of it, but you still thought of it, and it worked.
I mean, that's because I have data to back me up. It's not because of just Todak. I think Todak has left an impression, all right? Don't get me wrong, because we are local Malaysians, yes, they have left an impression, but I still follow the numbers. At least I'm having an outlook on what's happening outside of the world. Now, Melissa gets banned out here. Pretty decent option overall. At least you're able to kind of create some space and shoot from afar, but there's got to be a bigger reason for it.
Ooh, Min Sitar, wow. Okay. I like the ban because of the fact that it is pretty clear indications that DEWA United, you want to play a mobility composition, right? So with this Novaria, technically it leaves a very, very big opening for ONIC PH to actually dive to Novaria. But if you play a front-to-back composition, leaving the middle kind of exposed, means that they are looking for a pincer composition, a gank here. And I feel like this kind of composition is very risky on DEWA United Esports. So I guess they're doubling down on the mobility. They don't want to allow ONIC PH to be able to out-pincer them and just be right in the middle. So I guess that's the idea that they're going for, but it's still very, very risky.
Yeah, I feel like for DEWA United right now with the composition that they have, it's not as risky as ONIC PH. Because if you start thinking about like what else could they actually look for, especially when it comes to the jungle role, right? Are they looking for a tank, or are they looking for someone with high mobility to impact across the map, right? Because you have natural synergy between both the Kaja as well as the Beatrix. You can leave them on an island. So how else do you impact the map? Because DEWA United Esports now locking in that Frederick, making sure that their laners are sandbags. It's going to get really rough here.
Okay, instead of going for pincer now, DEWA United, they're looking for a spearhead formation, just straight away penetrate towards ONIC PH. They don't really have the strongest frontliners right now based on the drafts. They need somebody to actually stop the Frederick's aggression. In this case, carry pretty much out of the equation because they have Beatrix. If they try to go for the Martis, it isn't too bad, but I'm bored of it, you know. Martis, Frederick I'm just bored of it, but it's out in the pool as well. Technically, I haven't seen a Karina, but at the same time, I feel like ONIC PH, if they decide to go for the Karina now, it's great to kind of synergize with the Kaja's Divine Judgment, but it will be hard countered by the Kufra. But guess what? Bane!
A combo
perfect.
enabler.
Perfect.
Yep. I was thinking about maybe Grok jungle again, but it doesn't necessarily impact the entire composition of DEWA United Esports. Bane kind of fits the build where he has some very clear conditions about power farming. It's going to be a little difficult to keep up with the iframe, so you might as well just start looking for these team fights. So ONIC PH, it's very clear that they want to go for these bigger team fights, and they want to initiate by looking for picks. DEWA United Esports, on the other hand, spearhead formation. They need to start winning out on their lanes with this Brody, start unlocking Novaria and allowing the rest of the team to kind of do the work for them with the Kufra engagement as well as the follow-up expected to be seen by this Frederick.
You know what's funny? The walls are pretty thin. I can literally hear the excitement of Shamilo seeing this big, pick up as well. And I like it, you know? It kind of enables the Divine Judgment a little bit more. The shot coming in, you are going to get killed. So I'm extremely excited to see how ONIC PH pulls it off. But let's not take away credit from DEWA United Esports. They do have the Novaria on their side, so vision is going to be in their favor. Can this Kaja find the right angles to get those Divine Judgments, or will he be constantly kept in check by this vision coming from Novaria? This is going to be the game to watch. This is elimination match, second series for day number 5 here. ONIC PH going up against DEWA United Esports. So this is going to be an exciting one to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is game 1 of the series. ONIC PH on the blue side and DEWA United on the red side.
All right, let's get right into this with ONIC on the blue side. And it's going to be DEWA on the red side. This is a high-stakes match here. Whoever loses this best of 3 will be eliminated. Sensui will leave his buff first, which means he's going to have that extra bit of movement speed from the Ale to get to his second buff. So in terms of clear speed, we can expect that at least for Sensui should reach the engagement first.
What's the perfect build right now? Do you think Sensui is going to go hybrid mage, hybrid damage, or is he going to go full physical damage? But hold that thought for now, because as of yet, Kekedot, he's going to get harassed pretty hard. But they are 4 men down here. The recall comes in. Nope. He's going to miss.
Yep, he does have some good single target damage, and more importantly so, these skill shots have the range to keep him at a safe space. He just can't pump them out consistently. Now, to answer your question, I do think the overall attack damage build from the Bane is a little bit more optimal for the jungle role.
Let me double check this. Based on the jungle emblem coming from the Bane here, that's hybrid penetration, right?
Yeah.
That's hybrid penetration. So he's looking to go for both, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, it does scale with both. We'll see the items in a little bit. I'm surprised that he didn't want to go for the cooldowns on the Retribution, but I think he understands that it's like, wow, it's a little difficult.
I guess so, but now Shackle could be forced out the Flicker as well, so ONIC PH are beating out major battle spells before the first turtle. 15 seconds left as well, but the top side, they're taking a bit too much damage here. Lanaya, he's looking for the kill. He doesn't have his ult left, but he's going for the Thorn Rose, but no, nice dodge coming from there. Lanaya forced a recall back, means they will lose out in the Lord Pit advantage. However, ONIC PH is still playing it safe as well.
I mean, it's a pretty short cooldown, right? Overall, he's still got about, like, what, 22 more seconds until his ult comes back up from when he gets back to base on his way to the turtle. In the meantime, Valentina and Novaria looking to hit level 4.
Yeah, but now Lord in control of Sensui. He does have the Molten Essence as his first item here. Kekedot looking for the Divine Judgment, pulls Lanaya away. Can he steal it? And he still gets it despite Kekedot holding him away. But guess what? He got caught out. The Tyrant Rage comes in alongside with the Astro to slow him down in case he tries to get out.
First blood falling into the hands of DEWA United Esports. A little unfortunate for Kekedot, unfortunately, because he was the one who was trying to kind of like get this combination going. But it looks like Sensui doesn't have enough damage just yet to really capitalize on it.
Yeah, well done coming from DEWA United. Even though ONIC PH was kind of prepared for them, they were able to salvage it here. So well done coming in for Lanaya for getting the turtle. But because of this, ONIC PH, they have to play this a little bit slow, because as of yet, Sensui, he doesn't have this mobility, right? So I'm guessing ONIC PH is waiting for a perfect Divine Judgment for that shot to come in, but before that comes in, the slow comes in, they have the vision, and DEWA United, they're looking to pull in the aggression, but ONIC PH, they will back off with respect, but out of nowhere, Shackle goes in for the stun, but Kekedot forced the Flicker out.
They managed to get away. Nobody ends up dying here, which is great, because now they can start setting up the next possible play, right? If they are looking for a timing to fight, it's probably around 20 seconds till the turtle spawn, right? Because currently it's at 50, 30 seconds to kind of play with, clean up their waves, and get ready for this neutral.
Yep. Now, mid-control priority is still going to be ONIC PH favor. DEWA United still looking to try and rotate down towards the gold lane, but however, the Blitz don't have the information to work with. But it seems like they can't actually continue this as well. Keys have to recall back to base to actually regen through this fight, so they will lose out a little bit of momentum. And ONIC PH, are they going to force a fight? Seems like, nope, they will not.
They managed to walk out of there. DEWA United Esports now maintaining control over the mid lane. With that, having the mid lane shove out first, allowing Novaria to move, they could potentially set up a dive down by bot side just before this turtle fight, right? They do see Chovy. They don't know exactly where Kekedot is going to be, but the fact that he's gone off to the top side and actually cleared that wave, this gives more than enough information for DEWA to commence on bottom side.
Yep, DEWA United taking full gold plating down bottom. Meanwhile, on
Oh.
PH, they are gonna have the Bane try and steal the orange buff away from Lanaya. So they are playing cross-match plays. It feels like on PH, they don't really want to force a fight at all. But that's on for now. Tyrant's Rage does connect on towards one. They're in a little bit of trouble. Can he get out? Yes, he will. He shows himself, but the Snipes recall. Oh, he doesn't connect. So he is going to get out of safety. DEWA takes a turtle.
I think it's very clear that ONIC PH, they don't really care about these neutral objectives unless it's the Lord. Before then, it's about power farming first, and Sui trying to get as much gold in his pockets as possible. And I think DEWA United, they've recognized this, right? That's why they are doing this quick lane swap to make sure that even if, as soon as pressure is being lifted on one side of the map, at least Azure Sky can start sieging down and chunking down these turrets faster than Fredrin in this case.
I'm curious to see how ONIC PH is, like, what kind of direction they're going for here. When does Shinsui actually come up on the line? Because as of yet, he does have the Motor Essence, but here comes a shot. Oh my goodness, a big fat chunk of damage onto the turret. The tier 1 just drops like that. That's crazy.
That is fast. Wow, that is quick here. It's been a while since I've seen Bane, but gotta remember that his ultimate already affects turrets as well at the same time, and it's only gonna get worse from here.
Seems like they are going to try and take advantage of that, right? There's absolutely nothing DEWA United can actually do if you think about it. But they do have the vision game. They scout this out as well. But at the same time, Keys was able to slow down the flanks coming from ONIC PH. So that's going to be the disengage from both sides. But let's take a look at the item real quick here. Bane, Molten Essence. Oh, Brute Force Breastplate as a second item. So this is a full tank Bane.
That I'm not 100% sure about here. The Brute Force Breastplate to try and protect himself. Molten Essence to help clear. Okay. Fair enough. But we look at the gold earned. The majority of the gold being held from this deficit is going to be on DEWA United Esports, right? Lanaya and Azure Skies, they have been able to get across the map really, really fast. And honestly, the lane swap allows Lanaya to get even more gold than he necessarily should, because it's technically the right of Azure Skies to have that gold plating. But instead, he goes up to that top side and does the exact same thing.
I know now the Divine Judgment comes in. They pull in Azure Sky. They can't seem to finish ball. Shaco Boy gets the Tyrant's Rage. He gets Nets as well, but he almost kill him off. He will lose one, but he still eventually take him down. DEWA United is going to call the entire team here. Kekadot tries to run away, but cannot do so. DEWA United gets a 2 for 1, and Keys looking to get a little bit more, but as of yet, ONIC PH is losing full control of this entire game here just because of how Lanaya is doing this. But the Turtle, once again, Lanaya winning the team fight.
He still gets that out through the Sharks. Really good timing on the retributions from Lanaya. ONIC PH, though, still, at the end of the day, it's like, oh, it's a turtle. Not the biggest deal in the world. We're still, the game isn't going to progress any further than this unless it's a Lord. So even though DEWA United have that 2.1k lead, the levels in terms of both the junglers, Lanaya will take a level lead over Sensui.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more on how mobility affects the junglers, right? Lanaya is just so quick. So I guess the idea from Shinsui is that he gets the Brute Force Breastplate to get some sort of movement speed to actually rotate in between lanes. But seeing now with Lanaya with the War Axe, it feels like it's very, very difficult to actually play catch-up if you think about it.
I don't know about you, but as soon as he has War Axe, it's like, oh cute Brute Force Breastplate. You think you can run away like from me, Lancelot, the GOAT?
Speaking of which, here, Lanaya is going to engage as well. Bottom side, same as well. Shaco, they do get a nice catch onto us. They're instantly hot lockdown, sniped off the Obliterants.
Right, instantly, DEWA United really want to start escalating the situation before this. I mean, 3.4, that could easily convert into a 6k goal lead if they secure this.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Shaco mode gets to walk away from that.
Oh, the Sharks cannot do anything about it as well. And this is the problem we're talking about as well. Divine Judgment, they need to follow up with all the skills coming from both Bane as well as Valentina in order to kill one guy. But in this case, it was a little bit tough, but now no Divine Judgment in play. You can see the aggression from DEWA United, but it seems like they are going to try and set up for this next Lord.
Next Lord coming up in 18 more seconds. Tier 2s have already fallen, and DEWA United Esports currently at 4.6, 4.5 as an average. If they can crack open this mid-tier 1, I think that would open up a lot of options to speeding this up. But ONIC, they don't have the gold to work with.
Agreed. Now, please look at him. Just, wow. Just so confident in front of it. There's absolutely nothing ONIC PH can do about it unless they get the perfect catch coming from Kekadot. But as of yet, they're being slow. They're trying to find vision to actually check the Lord here. But here comes Keys with the Astro. Shackle going to be patching on Shensui as well. They're going to keep it in bay. Here comes a shot. Complete whiffs and airball. They do have the damage to actually retaliate. But DEWA, they reset the Lord. They are going to commit to the fight. And Shensui, they kicked off the Kufra. But at the same time, it's just all-out brawls. And Lanaya gets a couple of kills here. Shensui needs to back off. Meanwhile, ONIC as well, they also need to retreat. They're almost dying as well. So that is going to be a 1-for-2 exchange. And ONIC PH is somehow able to scare him off.
They managed to scare him. Oh, that was close. That was uncomfortably close. But it's still okay. It's still okay. ONIC PH are still in it to win it. They just have to drag it out a little bit longer. Chovy!
Okay. Keys? Okay.
He's
did
not letting
not
him
expect
go.
it as well, but Chovy stealing the land slots out. He's going to have even more mobility now. This is supercharged Valentina, and DEWA United, they need to respect this, but as of yet, ONIC PH finally getting a little bit more momentum to control, take the Lord Pit as well. Shinsui, he does have the out Dyson, trying to keep him in bay, but it is a split fight as well because middle turret, Lanaya is going to be diving nets. That's going to be the B-trees out of the equation, but the Lord does 20%. Lanaya, he needs to steal the retribution. Does he get it? Yeah, no, he doesn't. Shinsui takes the Lord instead, and DEWA United, they may have gotten the kills, but they've lost their objective. Shinsui running for his dear life. They need to get a kill after this, but DEWA United, are they going to give chase? It seems like Shinsui, he's got the sustains. He's a tank. Can he run? He's surrounded. Can he do more damage? It seems like he will try and drop it out down towards the tier 2s. No, he will not. He doesn't even have it.
Collapses. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. He collapses before he can pull any more attention, but at the very least, ONIC PH do have access to the Lord. And this is what I was talking about, right? Because unless DEWA United Esports has the Lord, they cannot push all the way to the inhibitor turns. It's very difficult. They can poke them out, but when it comes down to high ground defense, I think ONIC PH's composition has got them beat.
This is a little bit difficult to actually play here, especially for ONIC PH, because as of yet, DEWA United, they've got so much mobility, they can play split fights, and ONIC PH just cannot keep up. They're getting pinsed every single time just because of the draft, and they really lack mobility. And this is the idea that DEWA United wanted from the initial phase of the drafts themselves, and they're just getting everything they want. However, ONIC PH's timing, when do they come online?
I think ONIC PH is timing 42K, right? Because if we're thinking about whether or not they equalize the score, would they still win? I think Chovy is in a spot, well, he just got his Lightning Plunger before I brought it up, so he's got damage, right? If we look at the items from DEWA United Esports, I'm not seeing magic resist. The only magic resist I'm seeing is coming in from Fredrin, but that's also the Radiant Armor, so that's situational. It's not an Athena Shield, might not be able to survive the initial burst.
Oh my goodness, they get the pick. Dixon immediately obliterate here, taking advantage of the Lightning Trunken, and this is the problem we talk about as well. Divine Judgment for Valentina, not enough. But now with the Lightning Trunken instead of Ice Queen 1, it might be just enough here, and maybe, just maybe, ONIC PH starts to get pickoffs one by one. They might be able to bounce back, but this time, DEWA United, they cannot afford to give in a little bit more. They cannot give any more kills after this.
I mean, DEWA United Esports is currently on a timer, right? Eventually, ONIC PH is going to start scaling up equally. If not, the ceiling cap might be a little bit higher than DEWA United Esports by just a little bit. And you know, a lot of it is coming from the relevance of their supports, right? Both have high impact, both have table flip of ultimates as well. Do they want to go for this?
No, they want to. Chovy scouted this out. They know that they're coming. KK does have the Divine Judgment. He behind it goes for the pull. It is only a Kufra. They burst him down with the Sharknado, but at the same time from the side, there is going to try and stall them up. They want to go for more. DEWA United gets a counter one as well, but he slows them though down. But the damage coming from DEWA United is a little bit too much. The Astral Recall from Case just completely hits all three members, and now Dixon with the Appraiser's Wrath as well, and also the taunt to actually get them off, and that is going to be ONIC PH losing 4 just like that.
The idea was there from ONIC PH. I think they pulled the trigger a little too early. They still are an ultimate dependent composition, and without those ultimates, especially from Centurion and Nets, it becomes significantly more difficult for them to actually win out a long, drawn-out fight like DEWA United Esports did.
Yeah, big, very, very big Appraiser's Wrath coming from Dixon in the fight. But now, another free roar into a DEWA United Esports' favor. 12-6, 7.5k net will lead, and ONIC PH, it seems like they're in a very, very tough spot right now.
Honestly, it's not as bad as you think it is. I feel like they are going to lose an inhibitor turret, but that does mean if they sacrifice an inhibitor turret, ONIC PH will hit the mark, right? They will eventually start scaling, and then these neutral fights are going to be very, very dangerous for DEWA United Esports. It's all about looking for those flanks, and I think for Shaco Mode, because he has more space, it's likely that he might find a hole, but ONIC PH, just stick to the foundation, go for this high ground defense, and eventually just play it slow.
Yeah, but now, after recall coming from Keys, trying to poke their way through, but here comes the setup. The Tyrant's Revenge doesn't connect. And it's going to be a slow defense from ONIC PH, but the aggression still continues from DEWA United Esports. But as for yet, they're still holding down the fort for now. They don't really want to overcommit to this stage. Here comes the vision coming from Keys. They want to try and poke their way through, but it seems like they're still waiting for the jump. But I don't think it's a worth withdrawal. ONIC PH, they just have too much AoEs. They forced one coming out from nets, but they still have more.
And what did I tell you? 7K Gold League can't crack open these inhibitors without the Lord. And I think at least with ONIC PH, they recognized that they could walk out of their base because DEWA United Esports gave them a little bit of time to kind of delay the Lord, which eventually ruined the synchronization of the overall collapse from each of the side waves. So nicely done by ONIC PH. Now they're definitely going to get to the item power spike that they're looking for. But if you look at the damage leaderboard, Keys right now climbing up the chart huge, 54,000.
That's a lot of damage coming from this Novaria. But let's take a look at those itemization of the junglers and so, because Bane, full tank, Lancelot just hybrid all the way through. So they are starting to be a little bit impactful in terms of the damage output coming from Naya. But I feel like Sensui, he might need at least one damage item to actually be somewhat relevant, because as of yet, he's not standing in the front lines at all.
Yeah, he does kind of wait for the rest of his teammates to kind of enable that combination, right? But it's very hard for him to immediately follow up. I guess that's why he decided to go for the Brute Force Breastplate, because at least if the combo works out, he gets more than enough stacks from the Brute Force Breastplate to kind of catch up to the front line.
Yep. But for now, they're playing this a little bit slow. They're hoping for another pickoff, but that's the thing, right? Who's the biggest pickoff they should go for? It feels like maybe killing off Lanaya from the get-go? Or maybe Keys?
It's tough. It's tough. Lanaya does have iframes. He's one slippery boy. I think the most ideal would be probably taking out Shaco Mode, and then the two other priorities, which is Keys or Azure Skies. Either or both would be ideal.
Yeah, they have to find those opportunities here. DEWA United, 7.8k. We finally hit the 42k mark. Conceal play comes in. They don't see anyone. Shaco Mode roughly sees where this is going, but he's all by himself. Looking for the catch. He does. They find one, and that's going to be Thunder's Rage collapse onto his Shensui. It's going to be the first to fall. He does have his mortality. He's going to come off alive, but he eventually needs to drop his shot. Divine Judgment comes in the outs as well. Everything has been dropped, and that is going to be the disengage coming from ONIC PH. And DEWA United, they will play this safe. They focus on the objective. Kekedot trying to prolong this fight, but Daxon, he's a little bit of trouble. The snipe doesn't connect from net, so this Lord is gonna fall in the hands of DEWA United. Oh, but Keys! He gets the punish on Kekedot with the vision control.
Oh, yikes! At max range as well. Woo-hoo-hoo! Keys, look at that raw damage. My God. What a shot. What a shot.
Oh my goodness. This is so broken. But at the same time, here comes the snipe as well. Shensui just cannot tank it. The shot comes in, but he will die as well. Shaco still has his immortality. He's going to disengage, but oh my God, Nets. He almost died.
Oh boy. I love it. I love the fact that Keys decided to go for the Enchanted Talisman rather than just doubling down on just raw power. Because now you can see the amount of pressure he's applying at level 15, right? Cooldown's relatively short. Has the mana to do it as well.
Now this is late game territory for Novaria, but with the Lord knocking in, ONIC PH is going to go for collapse. Tyrant's Rage comes in, the R clumped in the middle, Dur is still hanging on, but Dyson Wiz does have the Appraiser's Wrath. They take him down, and they are going to continue to do so. They still have immortalities. Inhibitors will fall. ONIC PH only have the crystal left. There are 37 seconds of sidelines. They need Shensui for this defense. Dyson needs to make a run for it. ONIC PH, do they get a kill out of this? Kedot doesn't have the Divine Judgment to continue this fight, so that's going to be the retreat for DEWA United.
They still aren't able to close out that game. It was getting very close though, but DEWA United respect the death timers coming in from ONIC PH, and they know they've got such a whopping lead at this point of time. It's a false sense of security. That's what I personally feel, right? We do know that DEWA United Esports will be able to swap out immortalities for Winter Truncheons more likely than ONIC PH. But at the end of the day, right, it's about execution of the combination of Kekadut plus Sensui. And I think, you know, Nets, he's come to a point where he has relevant damage in this matchup. However, Kekadut is leaning more towards Sensui to enable him more than Nets.
Yeah, it's tough, and he only has a War Axe, so he has somewhat of damage here, but I don't think the War Axe amplifies the shock a little bit more, considering the shock is considered magical damage. So, I don't know. It feels like for Sensui to dish out a lot of damage, he needs to be in the middle of the fight, just proccing his passive and his second skill, first skill all the way through every single time.
I think what you meant to say was that Ale does have magic damage scaling, and the same goes for his ult as well, but its base damage is physical. So looking at the gold earned on the leaderboard, Lanaya still top in the charts. Azure Skies pretty high up there, but Nets catching up pretty quick. 3K behind Azure Skies, but they're already maximum build, right? So this is all about switching out items and looking for the right situations.
This is tough. This is tough. They have to play the waiting game. ONIC
my God!
Find the biggest pickoff, but in this case, damage output. Wow, Keys 86k. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Where is he getting this damage from? It felt like he hit like a good amount, but I would have expected the number to be that big. How many off-screen skill shots has he hit?
That's the thing, right? Like the Astral Recall, it seems like an arrow like from Selena, right? Selena's arrow just hits single target, but technically Key's second skill hits the people around the balls as well, so technically if everyone's just clump up too close, it does triple the damage.
And with the ultimate as well increasing the hitboxes, there's a lot of possibilities for collisions. How are they going to approach it? They have to use the ult early, right, just to get on in?
Yeah, at the same time, here, let's take a look as well. The Lord down to the 20% mark. Sensui, he needs to go in for the right time to get a catch, but from the flank, they go in for the Divine Judgment. He's trying to stop Lanaya, but Shaco gets caught off by Sensui. They steal the Lord, and that is going to be the South End. They were united. They have to back off. Shaco looking to try and drag this out, but they don't. They only pick off Dur, and Dixon can't seem to continue with the taunts. ONIC PH, they have to sound the horn of retreat to go in for the reset, but the slows comes in from from Keys, and they will have to back up, but seems like they will successfully get out of there. And with this Lord in their hand, they were united. They can't seem to continue with this push.
Man, they were united, just poking them out there. A really tough call for ONIC PH in particular, right? Because if you are in Sensui's shoes, it's like, I got to secure this Lord no matter what. But at the same time, there was an opportunity for the Deadly Catch to hit 4 people in that fight by the Tribe Rush. So really tough call for that. And I think it was the right one to save the Deadly Catch until the very last second against Lanaya at the cost of Dur.
Oh, tough. Very, very tough indeed. But good play there coming from ONIC PH. He still managed to buy a little more time to actually scale a little bit more. They might be going for the swaps as well, but Shaco looking for the hand, kick it out. Still needs to play this a little bit slow, because as of yet, Lanaya has not died a single time yet, and I feel like ONIC PH, the biggest problem is still going to be Lanaya in all this fight. And look at this. He's just forcing reactions, but even if they're trying to kill him off, Keys, they need to find a way to actually go to the back lines and kill him off. And as of yet, Kekadut is just so preoccupied in what's in front of him right now.
Oh, whoever makes that first move is going to lose, right? They need to make sure that if they cast an ability, it needs to hit, especially if it's their ult.
Shaco, conceal play, he tried to set up for the Tyrant's Revenge, doesn't seem to be able to find those angles. ONIC PH will still hold on, and never united, they will be forced to back off, and it is going to be a stalemate once again.
Yep, both Kekadut and Chovy don't have their ultimates. They're waiting for everybody to have their ults, which is a good call by ONIC, because last time they lost their matchups, it's, well, you don't have your abilities, you're forced to be on the run, and DEWA United Esports are not just going to let you go.
Oh, this is tough, but Dixon, he just got his anti-hero, but Shaco, he finds the target. That's going to be Dur, first one to actually fall here. He's going to be focused down, and that's going to be Lanaya getting the kill, but they're all clumped up. DEWA United, they're taking a little bit too much AoE damage. They need to back off. They need to respect this. Sensui is slowly chipping them apart, and that's going to be Sensui taking down Lanaya finally, and ONIC PH, they finally find the opportunity, and they disrespect the AoE, and DEWA United, they will lose 2. And ONIC PH only loses 1.
They finally done it. They finally got Nets in the middle of that fight, and he was allowed to free hit the entire time. Unfortunately for Azure Skies, he did not have that same kind of pressure, especially since ONIC PH are trying to zone off the rest of them, especially that back line. Focus on the people out of position, clear that up, trade upwards. Again, it's a 1-for-2 trade in favor of ONIC PH, And now, with this advantage, with Lord spawning in 12 seconds, both Lanaya and Dyson will not be present for this fight.
Oh, this is tough. This is tough. They really need Lanaya here, and DEWA United, they need to somehow buy time for this, but the rest of ONIC PH, what are they doing? They found Shinsui all by himself, where nobody's providing the assistance, but at the same time, because of the minions that are shoving in, ONIC PH, they have to back off. Shinsui needs to make a run for it, but DEWA United, they managed to buy time, and they hold on for the Lord Pit.
Yep, they do hold on. This forces Shinsui to actually go back and recall, and now without that immortality, this is once again going to be a 50-50 between Lanaya as well as Shinsui, unless Kakadu really pulls it out from under the carpet here.
Ooh, Shinsui finally selling his items here, going for a little bit more damage output as well. We do see the Malefic Raw purchase up in Shinsui, so this might be something that DEWA United Esports might not be anticipating as well. He starts to have a little bit more damage. Nets goes for the power potion, so we are not going to see an immortality swap for him anytime soon. But for now, it all comes down to the bait and pull. Shackle, he does get the cash once again. He's going to be up on dirt. Here comes the collapse as well. DEWA United, they need to back off. The shot connects on tree. It's going to be huge. But the AoE chunks him down low. Do they have what it takes to finish him off? And they do get Dixon. And now they're running for their lives. They're looking for the reset to try and re-engage this. But DEWA United, they can't seem to continue this.
Gonna be a back. They're gonna have to back off here. Dur is in such a tough spot, right? Like, how do you get into the middle of this fight? It's been 3 times in a row since he's been hard targeted by DEWA United Esports, especially since he's trying to set up these big fights, hopefully to get, you know, 4-man stun, ideally with the flicker, but half the time he's just locked in the ground. DEWA United Esports not letting him move one bit.
Yeah, and Shinsui, he is still gonna try and bait this out. He swapped up a Winter Trunket for one of his defensive items, so that means he will have a little bit more percentage, but now Divine Judgment comes in, pulls in Shackle, the shot connects on nothing, and that means DEWA United, they have to reset this, but it does mean that ONIC PH will not have the power of this daily catch. So this is something that is going to be good, but the minions are also shoving in. Nets still out of position to try and re-engage this fight. DEWA United, they're still holding on. They've got vision, but when are they going to make a jump? Half HP on the Lord, but they're trying to stop this way through. Azura Guy needs to make a run as well, and he might actually die. Meanwhile, the frag lines as well. Shackle will catch on too, but the burst coming from Nets and Kekadon, just a little bit too much. They need to back up. They finally get the kill on Azura Ski. They're all by himself, and ONIC PH, they managed to hold on, but the Winter Trunket comes in. They're going for the survives, but they will be able to get out. The Kekadon, they trade 1-for-1. Lanaya and Azuraski is taken out.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Man, Kekadun, he's got ice in his veins. He's walking up and he's literally 10 HP. I would argue 8% of his HP, but he does have the Divine Judgment as well as the Flicker available, so he could have tried to look for something if they were United Esports. Just batted an eye for half a second.
Now, with the Lord in the favor of ONIC PH, DEWA United, they are going to be a little bit of troubles as well, because Shinsui is going to be manning up a little bit more. He does have a lot of damage on this Bane now compared to before. But as of yet, with the Lord knocking in, he does have the daily catch for this next one as well. He's got the Winter Trunket to try to scale the percentage of his daily catch later on. But now here comes the Bull Kekadon. They go in for the catch. They immediately destroy Dyson. Dyson's going to be the first to fall in the first immortality. He needs to scurry away to regen himself. But DEWA United, they're scrambling in all this fight. They're trying to buy time, but the Lord is so strong. Inhibitors will be focused from ONIC PH, and he will eventually fall. Shobi trying to stall a little bit more setups, but somehow DEWA United will be able to defend, and ONIC PH says, I am gonna back off.
They are pulling this back against DEWA United Esports from what used to be majority of towers on their side, now being left with only a tier 2 on top side and an inhibitor. ONIC PH really making the comeback here.
Okay, we saw another deadly, the Blade of Hephaestus being, sorry, not Blade of Hephaestus, this Halberd being purchased coming from Shinsui right now. So he's going full damage items, no defense whatsoever up on Shinsui. And this is where DEWA United is going to feel the raw power of what Bane is going to be doing in this stage of the game. And as of now, DEWA United, they don't know what to do, but now trying to catch onto his Kekadon. He does have the Divine Judgment. He doesn't have the Flicker to back out, but he will be able to run away for now. DEWA, they see where Dirt is. They are going to keep in with Dyson, but they need to back off. The minions are shoving the bottom lanes, and DEWA, they say goodbye. We're gonna retreat. We're gonna back off.
Yep, DEWA United were able to get the conceal out of ONIC PH. I do think that was a little bold of ONIC PH to try to make a play that far ahead of the team because yes, Dirt technically could catch one, but DEWA United could have looked to maybe look for the counter engage, especially since they had the Kufra, right? But overall, I think that it's quite a high stakes game, and especially with how close it is so far, at least nobody died.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a problem, but we do see a little bit of Twilight Armor purchases coming from both the Lapu Lapu as well as the Kaja. So, interesting. I didn't expect that, but the burst coming in from Novaria, I guess that's the idea of what they're trying to negate right now.
It really is tough to say because I think at this point pretty much everybody has like some form of MR. Yeah, multiple Athena shields I see from the side of ONIC PH, and now this is the most important Lord of the game.
Yeah, I guess so. But DEWA United, they're setting up as well. They have Dykes kind of scouting out the Lord itself, but it is still a very, very tanky Lord. This is 29 minutes into the game. Lanaya does have those immortalities available, but they have to be very, very careful here. Whoever dies, it is going to be on the sidelines for at least a good solid minute for this next upcoming fight. So Lord will be resetted. ONIC PH, they are waiting for the minutes to shove in on bottom lane, so I guess it's all about playing it safe for now.
I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but then when you look at top side, right? Even that wave is slow pushing in favor of DEWA United.
Yeah.
ONIC PH on priority over that bottom side, but eventually somebody has got to go and clean it up.
Yeah, now Lord, once again, another reset coming in. This is not favorable for ONIC PH at all. They've got all the time in the world. I guess they're also waiting on immortality resets, I guess. Lanaya and Shackle does have their immortalities on the screen for now, but eventually, we haven't seen Ashura Sky in any of these angles here on the screen. He's all the way up top in the middle lane.
There is a thought of maybe looking for a potential backdoor, but you also don't want to be too far away from your team, so it's good that he rotates down back to mid lane rather than overextending.
Oh, Shaco, he missed the stun. He is. They do see the Lapu Lapu up top, so DEWA United feels a little bit more confident now. They are going to try and make the initiation on towards the Lord for now. ONIC PH is on a ticking time bomb. Divine Judgment comes in. They focus onto Dixon, but the Winter Trunket will keep him alive. He will flicker out of there as well. He needs to get out, but Dixon is getting focused down, but he actually survives. ONIC PH now shifts their focus on the sidelines as well. Lanaya will be the first one to fall, but he has his immortality, but it doesn't even matter. Nats will finish him off. No retreat for DEWA United, and ONIC PH, they're rather low, but they can still wipe them all off. But do they want to? But it seems like Lord is going to be the objectives. They're pretty low, but do they want to risk it?
They can heal. They can heal off the Lord itself. In terms of the lanes, it looks like Lapu Lapu is coming to clear up that top side, so this is going to be technically a 4v4. Oh no.
Oh no, they have the visions as well. They know exactly where they are. It's down towards 3 bars as well. Dixon is going to get catch as well. They do get a time to kick it on. Can he survive? The Divine Judgment keeps him in bay. But now the shot connects on all, but he doesn't have the HP. He might actually die to this as well. But no, he does have the damage. Shinsui, he kills off Dixon. But the Lord almost getting resetted as well. ONIC PH still manages to shove DEWA United back. And the Lord finally secured in the hands of ONIC PH.
Oh man. Oh man. One or two things happened here. Number one, Dixon with the Appraiser's Wrath had more than enough damage to take out Nets. The question was, when was Nets going to flicker? It's either he was trying to make a hard read, thinking that Nets was going to flicker behind him, or he fat-fingered it. I would like to believe the former.
Oh boy, Shinsui, he actually swapped his Winter Trunket in time as well. Oh my goodness, that's crazy reactions coming from him. But at the same time, he's going for a different item shifts as well. He purchased, I think he repurchased the Malefic Roar after knowing that the Winter Trunk is on cooldown now, so he is expecting to go raw damage, trying to chip away at the crystal with his shocks right now. But in this case, now the Stones comes in for DEWA United. They're trying to lure the Lord out of the top side, but Lanaya is taking a little bit too much damage coming from the crits here. Shinsui is going to try and post it down. A Shackle right now. Shackle will get destroyed, and Shinsui will continue the assault. The crystal will be the focus, and that is going to be ONIC PH bouncing back for game number 1.
Huge game coming out from ONIC PH, having a super rough early to mid game, finally comes back into the later stages despite having all 3 of their inhibitors down. ONIC PH just showing the value of high ground defense.
Oh boy, ONIC PH really held on in this fight as well. My goodness, the power of the shocks, man. Like the moment Bane goes full damage, you can start to feel the crits, the swings, the shocks everywhere through. And DEWA United, they seemed so lost in all these fights.
It begs the question whether or not, the Bane building him tank in the earlier stages, and once you get to the ultra late, completely switching out your items is the call. I don't know if that's going to be something that's very meta here, but